first card is the Six of Cups, and it is reversed. And the kind of, generic meaning of this card when it is reversed is living in the past. Forgiveness. To be honest, this spread talks a lot about forgiveness and moving on. So, the spirits are telling me that you are clinging to the past a little bit. Things keep happening in your life that are making you, reminding you of a specific situation, and you're feeling a bit nostalgic about it, and you keep dwelling on the what ifs and the why nots, missing the way that things used to be and wishing you could go back to that. But the spirits tell me that by focusing on the past, you're missing out on the present. Sorsha, my personal spirit guide, is telling me that you need to look at this card as a message that the opportunity to make peace is upon you now, and you should really take advantage of that for your own sake. The second card is the Sun card, and it is also reversed, and it's kind of generic meaning in the reversed field is feeling somewhat down. It also can sometimes mean overly optimistic, but kind of in a dangerous kind of way. The spirits are telling me that you are in a rut and you're having a little bit of a hard time seeing, the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not a negative card in any aspect of any reading, whether it is, reversed or right side up. It's also shows up in spreads to remind you of positivity, and to remind you that the obstacles that you are experiencing are only temporary, and that you are capable of overcoming them. You've experienced a couple of things that have kind of dampened your spirit and caused you to lose your motivation, but you can find that motivation again and get back on track. It's doable. The third card is the Queen of Swords. She's also reversed, and a generic kind of meaning for the reversed Queen of Swords would be overly emotional, or so much to the point where your emotions are kind of ruling what you do, making you jaded. The spirits are telling me that you are allowing your emotions to kind of get the better of you. You're listening to your heart when you should be listening to the logic of your head. You're too close to the situation, and it's kind of altering your perception, and you're clouding your judgment. You're way too close. You need to step back and remove yourself from the situation and gain an outside perspective. So then we have the Four of Pentacles, and it is upright, and its generic meaning is financial security and conservation, saving money, that kind of stuff. And the spirits are telling me that you've got some pretty amazing and creative endeavors and business ideas and things that are going on, and you've started to put them into play, but the other things that the reading had talked about are creating obstacles. It's again causing you to lose like your motivation and kind of put you in like this just downward spiral in this rut where you feel like you can't get out of, and then like you're worried that they're not going to work, that you're going to fail. But the spirits are telling me that that's not the case. You have a little bit of money trickling in right now, and the more time and energy that you focus on this instead of on the things you're supposed to be letting go of, then the more the money will come in, and that these endeavors could create a really great financial security for you if you will allow them. Then we have the Page of Cups, and it is also upright, and it stands for like creative opportunities and possibilities and potentials. Again, the spirits are talking about like your creativity and your creative energy, and it is flowing, and you have all these amazing ideas. You're just in the process of trying to figure out how to put them all down on paper, you know, how to properly execute them. Is it something that you can do yourself, or is it something that you need to hire other people on to assist with? They're not giving me a solid answer on whether you should or shouldn't. They're just telling me that whatever you decide, really amazing things are going to come to fruition, and that there's a lot of positive creative potential here. So the next card is the Five of Cups, and it's also upright, and it's upright, kind of generic meaning are things like regrets and disappointment, fear of failure, that kind of thing. The spirits are once again talking about how you're stuck in the past. You are blaming yourself for something that happened. You're having a really hard time forgiving yourself and like letting go. And Sorja, my personal spirit guide, is screaming at me that like you need to be able to forgive yourself. You preach a lot to others when they talk about things that are going on in their life, and they're really hard on themselves, and they're very disappointed in themselves, and they feel like they've failed, and you're one of the first ones to, you know, point out how that is not true, and how they need to be kinder and gentler to themselves. And Sorja is saying that you give out really, really great advice, and now it's time for you to like take your own advice. Think about what you would tell yourself if you were the one in this situation, and give yourself a break. So the last card is the King of Cups, and he's reversed, and in this position, like the generic reversed, I guess, meaning is like, again, it talks about self-compassion, deep inner feelings, the spirits are talking about how you're kind of repressing the emotions that you have attached to the situation, because when you get I guess in these kind of depressive states, you shut down and you withdraw. You're a little bit afraid of like what happens if you were to just, you know, kind of process and confront your emotions. You bottle stuff up inside of you until it just like overwhelms you to the point that like you kind of explode. Not always necessarily on other people, but again, like, you know, the previous card was talking about how hard you are on yourself, and I kind of feel like that this card is still kind of playing into that. Like, you know, Sorcerer's even saying if you feel like you need to reach out to somebody and talk to somebody and kind of process and unload and work through what you're feeling, like, do that. It's extremely beneficial, and it might help you learn how to, like, forgive yourself and let go. So, yeah. I hope that was a helpful reading.